Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child has issued a statement saying that France is committing grave and systematic violations of the rights of unaccompanied migrant children, leaving many homeless, deprived of basic care, and in degrading conditions. The UN committee has also noted that France provides protection to unaccompanied minors, but warned that flawed age assessment procedures have led to many migrant children being wrongly treated as adults. The report stated that children in France remain at risk of trafficking, abuse, maltreatment, and police violence. The committee, whose 18 independent experts are tasked with monitoring how countries implement the Convention on the Rights of the Child, has found that France has breached its obligations. Now, for this discussion, we go back to Raymond Vickery. He's a former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Commerce, joins us live from Washington, D.C. Thank you, Raymond, for staying with us. Now, how might this UN's findings on France's treatment of the unaccompanied migrant children influence transatlantic relations or the broader debate on human rights accountability among Western democracies?
Well, thanks for having me. It seems to me that you have to look at this in the broader context of what it takes to wage peace in the world. Peace, just like war, has to be waged, and there has to be a systematic approach to the problems that plague the world. And one of those is immigration. And you can take the approach of Donald Trump that immigrants are criminals, rapists, and have been let out of jails and mental institutions, which is the picture that he tries to paint. This latest pronouncement from the UN about France shows in great relief what the other side of the story is. Children trying to escape, particularly armed conflict, children unaccompanied. Are they to be treated as criminals and simply forced out or blocked? Humanity would say that that is not an adequate approach. And it is not an adequate approach in terms of what happens in the future. Every child which is abused, who does not have adequate food or shelter, is a potential for the kind of conflict which breeds a warlike situation in the world. So I think that this latest pronouncement in regard to France has to be seen in the broader context. And it is true, we have not come to grips with the kinds of policy considerations which balance due respect for humanity, and particularly those who are not able to fend for themselves, with the social and economic needs of recipient countries. And it behooves all the nations of the world, in the United States and across our global family, to be able to take a look at this and work through it in a logical, systematic, and moral way. Unfortunately, this is not happening. So this latest report is just one reminder that mankind faces a huge problem, particularly in regard to those who are displaced by war, by famine, by climate change, and the most vulnerable of those are children, which are the future and the hope of the world.
Yes, indeed. That's a very powerful message. Thank you, Raymond, for sharing that. Thank you very much, Raymond Vickery, for joining us and sharing that insight all the way from Washington, D.C. Now we move on to And now we move on to our next news. Authorities have confirmed on Wednesday that a drone attack targeted the prosecutor's office in Tijuana, a Mexican city on the U.S. border. Baja California State Prosecutor Maria Elena Andrade has said that 3 explosive-laden drones struck the building, causing damage but no injuries. Officials have not identified the assailants or the motive behind this attack. Tijuana, known as the major crossing point between Mexico and the United States, has long been a hub for drug trafficking and organized crime, raising concerns about the escalation of violence involving new technologies like drones in criminal operations. Now we move on to our next news. Mexico is grappling with the aftermath of devastating floods that have left at least 66 people dead and 75 missing, and over 100,000 homes damaged. President Claudia Sheinbaum faces mounting criticism over her government's response to this disaster, as rescue teams struggle to reach isolated communities and deliver aid. Torrential rains have triggered landslides and river overflows across central and eastern regions, washing away entire streets. Locals like Hilario Reynosa Valderas and his wife Elodia Reyes Azuara have barely escaped with their lives in Poza Rica. Their harrowing experience, caught on video, shows the human cost of a disaster, testing Mexico's resilience and government's response. Let's listen in.
Pero de ahí le dije a mi esposa, dice, agárrate de mi pescuezo para poder salir. Ya de ahí se agarró de mi pescuezo, salimos a dar la vuelta donde está el triciclo, ahí nos agarramos la pared, ahí lo amanecimos, pues de dónde podía yo salir. Vino la fuerte agua, me la quitó, y me boté a la buceada, no lo encontré.
Ir en el agua y no saber nadar.
Sí, estuvo fuerte el agua.
Gracias a Dios que
No,
Dios me
gracias a
salvó.
Dios que está viva ella, porque yo sé nadar. Yo nomás dije, ya se perdió, ya. De modo no la voy a encontrar, me eché a buscarla. Nada. Dice el taxista, mira, ya va llegando tu vieja allá arriba, dice. Le digo, no te metes de ahí, le digo, ahorita me voy en medio de los 2 postes, por ahí salí nadando. Pero fue un momento rápido. Yo llegué allá desesperado y llorando.
And that's a wrap on America 360. Keep watching NewsX World for more news updates from around the world.